welcome to Spotlight on Six Star Cruises. I'm Karen Worrall, your host, destination and cruise expert for Six Star Cruises. And welcome to our next episode of our special video series in partnership with Regent Seven Seas Cruises, all about Alaska. And I have the wonderful Ed Lang, Senior Business Development Manager for Regent Seven Seas Cruises with me again. Hello Ed, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to some more Alaska chat.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, today we're going to look at one of the most popular ports in Alaska. It's very friendly and unique, and it's the capital of Alaska. This is Juneau. Now, it is unique because it's the only US state capital that is not accessible by road. It lies tucked in a corner of southeast Alaska, nestled between Mount Juneau and Mount Roberts. So there's no roads to get into it. To get there, you have to fly in, or our favorite way, go there by ship. Now, visiting Juneau by luxury cruise ship is the way to visit and see the wildlife and beauty of Juneau and the area in style. So let's take a look at what cruising is like in Alaska with Regent Seven Seas Cruises by looking at what Regent's take is on why we travel. Now, Regent's motto is that they provide an unrivaled experience, and they definitely live up to this. Exploring Alaska with Regent on a smaller ship gets you even closer to Alaska's incredible wildlife, such as the ubiquitous humpback whale. You get closer to Alaska's incredible glaciers, where you can hear ice calving from the ship, sounding like a low rumble of thunder. You'll see ice floes close by, and you can take excursions to fly above the glaciers and get this unsurpassed bird's eye view. Sailing through the Inside Passage, you'll see mountains, forests, waterfalls, peaceful and thrilling at the same time. And you can get involved in real Alaskan action on shore excursions, going fishing or husky dog sledding, go bear watching, kayaking, just to feel part of the Alaska scenery. Now, Alaska has the largest population of American bald eagles in the US, more than all the other states combined. And Alaska offers unforgettable train rides, views that take your breath away, as do the Alaskan sunsets at sea. Now, on board, you'll have all the luxuries you'd expect from Regent, with excellent service, relaxing pampering, expertly made handcrafted cocktails, world-class entertainment, with more unlimited shore excursions included. All of them are unlimited for you. So that's a little taste of the area. And today we're going to focus on Juneau. The Alaskan capital has a population of just 32,000 people and has more hiking trails than roads, which makes it ideal for outdoors fans. Now, from here, you can fly on a seaplane above 5 spectacular glaciers and go to Mendenhall Glacier, which is the nearest one by land. And Juneau town is lots of fun too. Everything in town is easy to walk from the ship. The downtown area has lots of small locally owned shops with locally made souvenirs, along with quaint little coffee shops. And there are character-filled bars like the Red Dog Saloon, complete with saloon girls and cowboy music shows, plus the Alaska Brewing Company shop for beer fans too. Now, let's take a look at the view from the top of Mount Roberts. Now, this is a beautiful view. To get up there, you can walk up the trail, which takes about an hour and is quite steep, or you can take the easy way and take Mount Roberts tramway up, which is a native family-run business. Now, after taking the tram up Mount Roberts, you can go along the hiking trails at the top, see Lady, the bald eagle who lives there, and best of all, see these incredible views over the Juneau Inlet and your ship below. Now, Juneau is one of the best ports to see bears. I've seen them out by the roadside while heading out on tours, by the shore when the ship is sailing by, and a great sighting of one at Mendenhall Glacier as well. Now, if you like eating seafood yourself, look out for Tracy's King Crab Shack. This is a little bit of the crab right there. It is absolutely delicious, and that is in downtown Juneau, so take a look out for that while you're there. And when you're out and about, look out for wildlife. I once saw a porcupine in a tree as well out in Juneau. So another top tip is go to the Crab Shack if you like crab. It is delicious, the king crab combo with crab bisque and crab cakes. And the crab legs, of course, is my favorite one. You can share that as well. And I worked on cruise ships for 15 years from 2005 to 2020 and was lucky enough to spend 6 seasons in Alaska. I've always loved shore excursions, and I've been on almost all of them in Alaska, and I've been on all of the tours that I will mention today so that you know that you're getting a genuine first-hand opinion from a fellow traveler. Now, one of the best reasons to cruise with Regent is because they include complimentary unlimited shore excursions, so you can make the most of your time ashore without having to pay out for any more trips. Juneau has a lot of wonderful shore excursions, and so we'll tell you about some of our favourites. Now, Ed, do you have a favourite shore excursion in Juneau?
Yes, yeah. I mean, for me, I think one of the real kind of highlights of going to Alaska is number one, seeing a glacier, and number two, seeing some whales. And what better way of doing that than on our Mendenhall Glacier and Whale Crest trip that we offer as part of the complimentary shore excursions that we have on board. It's important to note that that is one of usually 10 to 12 tours that are included. So, you know, there is a real variety. But for me, taking that trip up to the glacier, you have an expert sort of guide on the transfer up there, so they talk to you about the history and the processes involved with the glacier itself. And then you get some free time when you're up there, just over an hour, where you can just go and visit the visitor centre if you want to go and have a look at the beautiful sort of panoramic views of the glacier, or you can hike some of the trails that you mentioned. So you can hike up to a beautiful waterfall, or go bear spotting, like you said. So yeah, there's some good free time to explore that area. And then really a huge, for me, I've been on a few whale watching trips. Going whale watching there would just be absolutely outstanding. It's a 3-hour boat trip. They have a local naturalist on board on the microphone telling you about, you know, the environment and the nature that you find there. And actually on the boat itself, they have these pictures of the different whales, because you can identify them by their flukes. So you know, they'll talk through those different whales, and the operators there are so confident that you'll see a whale that if you don't, they'll give you money back. So I mean, that's and they've never paid out in 30 odd years. So it's teeming with whales, it's teeming with wildlife, and it's just a phenomenal experience.
That is a very, very good tour. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That does give you two of the best experiences in Juneau in just one trip. Plus, there's still time for another excursion to explore the town on your own if you like as well. Now, I love the Mendenhall Glacier too. I think it does give visitors a better understanding of glaciers in general and how long it takes for them to form. Plus, you learn a lot about the local wildlife. Just go out and see it. And as I said, always look out for the local rangers when you go for a walk from the visitors centre, and ask if they've seen anything interesting that day, because they always know. And so this would be one of my topics as well, definitely. Now, whale watching in Juneau is something really special. Now, as a child, I used to love learning about animals and went through phases of my favourites, and humpback whales were my favourite for a couple of years actually. And I'll never forget the first time I saw them in real life. I went out on a whale watching trip in Juneau, and we sailed out to Auk Bay, and then this huge dark grey head popped up, and it was an adult female humpback. She was just beautiful. She was bobbing about, spurting water out of her blowhole, and then a few minutes later, a smaller dark grey head popped up, which was the calf. And the mother and baby frolicked around in the water near our boat for about half an hour. It was very, very special. The whole boat was silent, just watching them. Everyone was mesmerised, and myself and other travellers just welled up seeing these gentle giants right next to us, just playing around as if they were there for our amusement. It was amazing. So on that note, one of my picks would be the Whale Watching and Wildlife Quest, which lasts 4 hours, and it gives you the most time on viewing the whales and other marine life if that's your main interest. Or there's the Luxury Whale Watch Juneau trip, which takes 2 3/4 hours and is Alaska's only whale watching yacht. Or there's the Evening Whale Watching Quest, which takes you out to Stevens Passage on a catamaran, where you can watch the whales in the evening glow while enjoying appetizers, desserts and drinks. So it's a beautiful way to end your day in Juneau. Now, if you like food and a bit of history on your tours, you will love the historic gold mine panning and salmon bake tour. Now, your costumed prospector guide will tell you all about the gold rush that lasted a whopping 60 years. And they'll take you out so that you can pan for gold by yourself in the creek.
Did you have any joy?
I did. It's about that big, so... You know, there was something. I have a souvenir. I'm not going to go, you know, buy a new house with it, but it was fun. And you also see the remnants of the old mine there too. And then you'll head to the Gold Creek Salmon Bake to dine on freshly caught Alaskan salmon and other entrees if you prefer. And this is in this idyllic forest setting. And you can even roast some marshmallows on the campfire. So it's a really good tour too. Now, if you're an active outdoors enthusiast, you will love the Glacier View Sea Kayaking Tour or the Mendenhall Glacier Native Canoe Adventure. Now, both of these last 3.5 hours, and they take you paddling near North Douglas Island or Nugget Falls and to the iceberg-dotted waters of Mendenhall Lake. Now, you'll learn about the native Aleut people, the fur trade of Alaska, and get close to the majestic Mendenhall Glacier itself. So if you love the outdoors with dogs in it, then I would suggest going on the Dog Sled Discovery and Mushers Camp, or the Dog Sled Camping Tour, which are both 2 hours. And on both tours, you get to go out on a sled tour with a team of Alaskan Huskies, and you learn about the famous grueling 1,000-mile Iditarod competition and how the dogs and humans are trained for it. And best of all, you get to meet up with about 200 dogs who live out in the camp they are training. Now, it's very loud, but it is wonderful. And probably my favorite thing about these tours is that there are usually puppies, and you get to meet, greet and pet the puppies. That was my little favorite one, who's beautiful, but you can't take any with you. They will check your bag when you go if you seem suspicious. They didn't check me, of course. And now, so that was the puppies. The dog sliding tours are really, really, really good. Now, my absolute favorite top pick for an excursion in Juneau, if you're celebrating something special like a birthday, anniversary, or if you just want to treat yourself. And one of the very few tours that is complimentary. This is the dog sledding on Mendenhall Glacier via helicopter tour. Now, flying over a glacier is just the best feeling. You really feel and see how huge the glaciers are, and then landing on one is such a rare and special experience. And then you get to hang out with huskies while you're there, and you sled along this with the dogs. It's just priceless. Now, all the tours we've mentioned here are complimentary, except the additional cost for the sledding on the glacier, the evening and luxury whale watching ones, but everything else is completely included. And as Ed said, there's a multitude of tours to choose from that are included in every single port, which is absolutely fantastic. And so these are just spectacular, especially the helicopter glacier dog sled. It's definitely worth it for a special treat if that appeals to you. Everything else is included, and you can browse through Regent Shore Excursions brochure, which you can get online. You can look at that at your leisure to choose your favorites. Now, as I said, I've been on most of the tours in Alaska and I really enjoyed them all, but these are some of my top tips and my favorites from today. So that's it for today from Juneau for us. And thank you for your tips on Juneau too, Ed.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Love to talk about it.
Yes, it is a wonderful place to talk about. There's so much to do, so much to see.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
Good. Well, that's it from Juneau. And next time we'll be giving you information and our top tips for Alaska's rainiest but one of the most beautiful cities, Ketchikan, along with taking a closer look at Alaskan glaciers. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bon voyage.